All right. What's up? How you guys doing? Just send this out and we will begin. Just give me a moment. Starting a moment. All right. Almost ready to go. All right. What's up, everybody? Hello, and welcome back to episode 32 of Benny in the Booth podcast. Thank you so much for the support to this point. Very much appreciate it. Um, Outside of the regular, well, obviously for today's episode, we've got MLB recap and NBA playoffs update with nothing really much in the NFL but schedule stuff, which anyways comes out later this week. So I'm just gonna hold off until the entire NFL schedule comes out, and I'll note like key games and like certain teams' full schedules and stuff next week's podcast. But for this week, it's just gonna be MLB and NBA. But I do have a bit of an update. It seems that pretty much confirmed that at some point gonna have a current MLB player on the podcast at some point. I don't know when. I don't know whether it's could be during the season or after the season, but it's starting to pull together to be closer to happening, and it's just a matter of figuring out when. Uh, can't which I cannot wait to have be able to have this opportunity on. I'm also considering, aside from the current player, there's someone that just retired in baseball who actually now has his own podcast with someone that I'm considering having on, but that's a separate thing, not related. Um, yeah, that's all the updates for now. As soon as I know more things I can update, I will keep you guys posted as we go along. So, MLB Weekly Recap, which, once again, like I said last week, I'm not going to be going over every game and score. I'm just going to be going through the ones where I have notes on like specific things that happen in certain games. More of like bigger things like walk-offs or like shutouts or like near no hitters and stuff instead of like going through every game, uh, which will shorten up the length of each episode. Also, if you're wondering with the background, this is thank you for the person that has liked the stream. Welcome. Uh, the this is from my college dorm, but I actually changed dorm rooms recently, so this is coming from my new dorm room. But same building, same floor, just different room. So that's why it's a bit of a different background than the usual Lander dorm background that I had in previous episodes I did here. Anyways, let's get into it. So going back to last Tuesday, uh, first note to talk about was Mets shutting out Atlanta in Atlanta 3-0. Carlos Carrasco with the win. Kyle Wright with the loss. Seth Lugo with the save. Dom Smith and Pete Alonso with the two. Dom Smith the 2-run double and Pete Alonso solo home run to help were the runs for the Mets. Diamondbacks beat the Marlins in Miami 5-4. Humberto Castellanos with the win. Trevor Rogers with the loss. Joe Mantiply with the save. Uh, oh. Uh, During this game, Jazz Chisholm hit a ball that clearly was fair. And, well, sorry. Marlins were down 5, I think, to like 1 or something. They started getting a rally. Jazz should have hit a ball that was fair clear, but the umps originally called foul. They eventually changed it to fair and gave him a 2-run double with the bases loaded, which it could have been an extra run more and would have helped them. But in the end, they were snuffed out at 4 runs and lost 5-4. Yankees beating the Blue Jays in Toronto 9-1. Jamison Tyone with the win. Adam Simber with a loss. And if you're wondering, yes, this is the game with the controversy that happened in Toronto. And if you were not aware of what happened, it was 3-1 at the time in the game. And they hit like a ground ball. They have a plate at the plate with Marwin Gonzalez picking him off, going back and forth. Vlad Jr. clearly applies the tag to Marwin Gonzalez, but yet apparently somehow the umpire did not read him being out and call him safe. And what sucked for Toronto was they were out of challenges at that point. So they couldn't have challenged it. They tried asking the umps to review it, but it didn't make a difference. They did not review it, and the call stood as safe. And boy, did that change things, because that basically led to the Yankees blowing the door wide open. And it was clearly out. Like, he was clearly tagged. It wasn't like, oh, maybe it was a centimeter off or a millimeter. No. He was clearly out, and they call him safe. Like, bad, and bad. Like, the Yankees, A, are lucky that Toronto's out of challenges, and B, that call went their way. But either way, they won that game 9-1. Astros shutout the Mariners 4-0. Christian Javier with the win. Chris Flexen with the loss. Alvarez solo home run, and Alvarez and Altuve had solo home runs. Jeremy Pena had a 2-run single, and Dusty Baker actually collected his 2000th career win as a manager. The Royals beat Cardinals 7-1. Brad Keller with the win. Dakota Hudson with the loss. And this is where Bobby Witt Jr. hit his first career home run, with it being a solo home run. The Royals also had a 5-run 7th inning in this game. And then last game from last Tuesday, the Rays beat the Athletics 10-7. Andrew Kittredge with the win. Lou Trevino with the loss. A 5-run 10th inning by Tampa to help them win this game. And this game went 10 innings. From last Wednesday, the Diamondbacks beat the Marlins 8-7. Keenan Middleton with a win. Anthony Bender with the loss. Ian Kennedy with the save. Mad Bum ejected in the first inning after one of the weirdest checks for like spider tag and stuff, where the umpire didn't even look at the hand. He was just feeling it out and looking Mad Bum in the face. Mad Bum reacted and was ejected in the first inning. Thankfully for Arizona, they still won thanks to a 2-run go-ahead home run in the ninth from Pavin Smith. The Padres beat the Indians in the first game of a doubleheader 5-4. Steven Wilson with the win. Zach Plesac with the loss. Tyler Rogers with the save. The biggest part of this game was Mike Clevenger starting for the first time since 2020. Went 4 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. And honestly, for his first game in 2 years, it's not bad. He didn't get credit with the win because he didn't go full 5 innings, but good to see him back pitching baseball again. And then in the second game of that doubleheader, Indians won 6-5 in 10 innings. Nick Sandlin with the win, Denelson Lamet with the loss. Guardians rallied from down 5-2 in this game to win in extra innings on Steven Kwan RBI single. The Brewers beating the Reds 18-4. Freddie Peralta with the win. Vladimir Gutierrez with the loss. Rowdy Tellez of this game had a 2-home run, 8 RBI game. Most RBIs in a game in Brewers history to help them win 18-4. Rays shutting out the A's in Oakland 3-0. JP Fireeisen with the win. Zach Jackson with the loss. Andrew Kittredge with the save. 2-run single by Manuel Margot. And a balk in the 3-run eighth were all the runs for Tampa in that game. The Rangers beat the Phillies in Philly 2-1. Matt Bush with the win. Brad Hand with the loss. Joe Barlow with the save. Brad Miller, the 2-run double to give Texas the lead, and eventually that led to them winning. And then the last game from this day, the Angels beating the Red Sox 10-5 in Boston. Ryan Tepera with the win. Matt Barnes with the loss. Jared Walsh had the game-tying RBI single to send it to extras, and then also had a 2-run home run in extras to help cement the win over Boston on that day. Last Wednesday, the Mets beating the Phillies in Philly 8-7. Adonis Medina with the win. Corey Knebel with the loss. Edwin Diaz with the save. Bryce Harper had an RBI double and going back-to-back with Nick Castellanos, a part of getting a 7-0 lead, but thanks to a 7-run ninth inning. Started with before that, Starling Marte had a home run in the 6th to make it 7-1, and then a 7th-run ninth inning by the Mets. Via Lindor 2-run home run, Mark Canha RBI single, JD Davis RBI single, and Brandon Nimmo game-tying 2-run single, and then Starling Marte go-ahead RBI double to come back and win 8-7 in that game. Astros beat the Tigers at home 3-2. Ryan Presley with the win. Gregory Soto with the loss. Jose Altuve and Jeremy Pena supplying the run, having solo home runs each. Altuve in the first, Pena in the 5th. And Gianmarco Candelario 2-run home run off Presley in the 9th to tie it. And then Kyle Tucker with a walk-off RBI single to win it for the Astros. Padres winning at home against Miami 2-1. Nick Martinez with the win. Jesus Luzardo with the loss. Taylor Rogers with the save. Oh, I guess that game was not supposed to be in there. Something happened and I just didn't note it. I don't know. Never mind. Anyways, from last Friday, the Brewers beating the Braves in Atlanta. Rematch of last year's NLDS where Atlanta won the series 6-3. Eric Lauer with the win. Colin McHugh with the loss. Josh Hader with the save. Ronald Acuna Jr. finally getting his first home run since July 2021. Brewers having a 4-run 6th to get the lead and win that game 6-3. The Rays beating the Mariners in Seattle 8-7. Brooks Raley with the win. Paul Sewald with the loss. Eugenio Suarez had a 2-homer game, which didn't matter. Manuel Margot had a 3-run homer in the top of the 9th inning to take the lead and win the game. And then the last game from this day, Cardinals winning in San Francisco 3-2. Ryan Helsley with the win. Camilo Duvall with the loss. Giovanni Gallegos with the save. Bader solo home run. Darren Ruff game tying 2-run single. And then Dylan Carlson go ahead RBI single. And for the Giants, Sam had Jelly, a reliever, made his major league debut, went 1 inning and struck out 1, not giving up any hits or runs or walking anybody. From last Saturday, in the second game of doubleheader between the Dodgers and the Cubs, the Dodgers won 6-2. Tyler Anderson with the win, Daniel Norris with the loss. Mookie Betts made an error in the first that led to the Cubs run, and then would make up for it twice with a bases clearing double and then a 2-run home run to cement that 6-2 win. The Reds beating the Pirates at home 9-2 in the first game of doubleheader. Lucas Sims with the win, Will Crow with the loss. The Pirates backup catcher got ejected to Andrew Knapp, who still ended up starting the second game. The starter actually got hurt in this game, which was Roberto Perez. Josh Van Meter had to be the catcher for the rest of the game. It was tied 2-2 from top of the 6th to top of the 8th, and then 7-run bottom of the 8th to help the Reds win that game. Astros winning at home against Detroit 3-2. Brian Abreu with the win. Michael Fulmer with the loss. Ryan Presley with the save. Miguel Cabrera having a 600th double in the game for his career in that game. That actually also ended up being a 2-run double. Giants beating the Cardinals 13-7 on now what I guess will be for the future specifically. That day will be Buster Posey Day. Logan Webb with the win. Steven Matz with the loss. Wilmer Flores grand slam in this game. Darren Ruff and Mauricio Dubal with 2-run home runs in the second. And part of their 4-run first and part of their 4-run second. The Braves winning the second game against the Brewers 3-2 at home. Max Fried with the win. Corbin Burns with the loss. Kenley Jansen with the save. Acuna homered again in this game. Game ended on a strikeout of Rowdy Tellez throwing out Tyrone Taylor trying to steal second base, double play. And then the last game from last Saturday, the Rockies beating the Diamondbacks in Arizona 4-1. Alex Colomé with the win. Market Melanson with the loss. Daniel Bard with the save. 0-0 through 7.5 innings. The 7 1/3 innings, I think, is what I meant to say. Arizona took the lead in the bottom of the 8th on an RBI double by Christian Walker, but a 4-run top of the 9th, all with 2 outs by Colorado, led the Rockies to win that game 4-1. Sunday games, the Mets beat the Phillies in the second game of a doubleheader 6-1. Chris Bassett with the win, Christopher Sanchez with the loss, Gene Segura hitting his 100th career home run in that game. Reds winning the finale against the Pirates at home 7-3. Art Warren with the win. Dylan Peters with the loss. Their first series win this year for the Reds. The Angels winning at home against Washington 5-4. Jaime Barria with the win. Tanner Rainey with the loss. Shohei Ohtani having a 2-run game-tying double to tie it. And Anthony Rendon walking off against his old team with a walk-off RBI single to win that game 5-4. Mariners beating the Rays at home 2-1. Paul Sewald with the win. Matt Whistler with the loss. George Kirby making his major league debut in this game. 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Manuel Margot solo home run in the top of the 8th to take the lead temporarily. Abraham Toro tied it in the bottom of the 9th. And then Ty France walk-off RBI single to win it for Seattle. And the last game on the stage to go over, San Diego winning the finale against Miami 3-2. Robert Suarez with the win. Cole Sulser with the loss. Jorge Alfaro 2-run walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th for the Padres to win. And from yesterday's games, the Indians beating the White Sox in Chicago 12-9. Emmanuel Clase with the win. Ryan Burr with the loss. Trevor Stephan with the save. Josh Naylor had a game-tying grand slam in the top of the 9th. And then a go-ahead 3-run home run, which capped off coming back from down 8-3, which it was 8-4 before he hit the slam. And then go-ahead 3-run home run in the top of the 10th, a part of an 8 RBI game for him, and Gavin Sheets also in this game. Top of the first maiden inning, came back in the bottom half with a 3-run home run. The Yankees shutting out the Rangers 1-0 yesterday. Clay Holmes with the win. Brett Martin with the loss. Rose Chapman with the save. Nestor Cortez went 7 1/3 innings without giving up a hit. It was eventually broken up in the 8th. Rizzo got a RBI double to give the Yankees the lead and eventually to win, which that RBI double was in the 8th. They eventually won it in the top of the 9th, 1-0. And the last game to know, Angels beating the Rays 11-3. Noah Syndergaard with the win. Jeffrey Springs with the loss. Shohei Ohtani and Trout went back-to-back. Trout now also has the most home runs by a player. I think it's Angels player in Angels Stadium history, passing. I think it was Troy Gloss or Tim Salmon. I'm forgetting. It was one of the two. Ohtani also hit his first ever, even including Japan, grand slam in his career. Those are the notes from all this week. And then one extra note, there were 9 games between Friday and Saturday that were postponed. Cubs had 1 game postponed. The Reds had 2. The Orioles had 2. The Phillies had 2. The Yankees had 2. And the Indians had 1. I specifically note the home teams. Just so you're aware, when I specifically just say one team, it was just specifically noting who was home for those canceled games. That is a weekly recap of games-wise. Standings update for the AL East. The Yankees are in first place. Had 1 point. Actually, we're on an 11-game win streak. Ended on a 1-game win streak, though, and off in this time period. Tampa is second place, 18-12 on a 2-game losing streak, followed by the Blue Jays, 17-13 on a 2-game losing streak, followed by the Orioles, 12-17 on a 2-game win streak, followed by the Red Sox, 10-19 on a 5-game losing streak. In the AL Central, the Twins in first place, 18-11. At one point, we're on a 3-game win streak right now, followed by the Guardians in second place, 15-14 on a 2-game win streak, followed by the White Sox, who at one point in this time period were on a 6-game win streak, ended up on a 1-game losing streak and a 14-14 record, followed by the Royals, 9-17 on a 2-game losing streak, followed by the Tigers, 8-20 on a 6-game losing streak. AL West standings update. Angels in first place, 20-11 on a 2-game win streak, followed by the 18-11 Astros on a 7-game win streak, followed by the 13-17 Mariners on a 1-game losing streak, followed by the 11-16 Rangers on a 1-game losing streak, followed by the 11-18 Athletics, who at one point were on a 9-game losing streak, ended on a 1-game win streak. That is the AL standings update. Excuse me. For the NL standings update, the Mets are in first, starting with the NL East. The Mets are in first place, 20-10 on a 1-game win streak, followed by the Braves, 14-16 on a 1-game win streak, followed by the Marlins, who are at 1 point on a 6-game losing streak, ended 13-16 on a 2-game losing streak. Phillies 13, followed by the Phillies, who are also 13-16, but are on a 1-game win streak, followed by the Nationals 10-20 on a 1-game losing streak. The NL Central standings update: the Brewers are 19-11 on a 3-game losing streak, followed by the 16-12 Cardinals on a 2-game losing streak, followed by the 12-16 Pirates on a 1-game win streak, followed by the 10-18 Cubs, who at one point were on a 5-game losing streak. It just ended it yesterday with a win, ending on a 1-game win streak. Kyle Hendricks actually almost pitched a complete game, but was taken out with 2 down in the 9th due to pitch count. And then the Reds, 6-23 on a 2-game win streak. NL West standings update: Dodgers are in first place, 19-8. We're at 1 point on a 6-game win streak, ended on a 1-game losing streak, followed by the 19-11 Padres on 1-game losing streak, followed by the 17-12 Giants, who were at 1 point on a 5-game losing streak, ended on a 3-game win streak, followed by the 16-13 Rockies on a 2-game losing streak, followed by the 16-14 Diamondbacks, who were at 1 point on a 4-game win streak, ended on a 2-game win streak, and the end. One thing I want to check before I get into today's schedule with MLB, but that is the standings update for MLB. Okay, no, that's still there. So today's schedule for MLB. Tigers and Athletics have a 2-game doubleheader. Both games in Detroit, but one game Oakland's home, the other game Detroit's home. For the first game starts at 1:10. Tariq Skubal going for Detroit, Frankie Montas going for Oakland. In the second game, Adrian Martinez going for Oakland, Alex Faedo going for Detroit. Dodgers at Pirates at 6:35 p.m. Dodgers have Gonsolin going, Wilson going for the Pirates. Brewers at Reds at 6:40 p.m. Freddie Peralta going for the Brewers, Hunter Green going for the Reds. Mets at Nationals at 7:05 p.m. Carlos Carrasco going for the Mets, Patrick Corbin going for the Nationals. Blue Jays at Yankees at 7:05 p.m. Yusei Kikuchi going for the Blue Jays, Luis Severino going for the Yankees. Red Sox at Braves at 7:20 p.m. Garrett Whitlock going for the Red Sox, Kyle Wright going for the Braves. Astros at Twins at 7:40 p.m. Astros have Verlander pitching. The Twins have Joe Ryan pitching. Orioles at Cardinals at 7:45 p.m. Kyle Bradish going for Baltimore. St. Louis Star has not been announced yet. Royals at Rangers at 8:05 p.m. Brad Keller going for Kansas City. Martin Perez going for Texas. Cleveland at the White Sox at 8:10 p.m. Cal Quantrill going for the Guardians. Lucas Giolito going for the White Sox. Tampa at the Los Angeles Angels at 9:38 p.m. tonight. Rays have Corey Kluber pitching. The Angels have Reed Detmers going. Cubs at Padres at 9:40 p.m. Cubs have Wade Miley. Padres have Mike Clevenger. Phillies at Mariners at 9:40 p.m. Aaron Nola going for Philly. Robbie Ray going for Seattle. Miami at Arizona at 9:40 p.m. Jesus Luzardo going for Miami. Madison Bumgarner going for Arizona. And then Colorado at San Francisco at 9:45 p.m. Antonio Senzatella going for the Rockies. Alex Wood going for the Giants. And that is the MLB weekly recap. Let's get an update on NBA weekly recap. So this week, giving an update on current rounds, as it's still the second round is going on, but series are starting to get a bit closer to wrapping up. There could be one wrapping up in the next few days. The Milwaukee series is even at 2 games apiece after last night. Game 2, the Celtics won 109-86, even without Marcus Smart. The Bucks won Game 3, 103-101 to take a 2-1 series lead, but Boston won last night, 116-108, even without Robert Williams, evening of the series at 2. And it's seeming like even if Boston's down somebody in a game, they still end up winning that game against Milwaukee in this current series. The Warriors are actually up 3-1 on Memphis. They won game. Oh. They lost game 2. Game 2 to go Memphis at Memphis 106-101. Won game 3, 142-112, and then won last night. Give me 1 second. And won last night, 101-98 to take a 3-1 series lead. Miami and Philadelphia. Embiid is back for Philadelphia, and they've taken advantage, winning the last 2 games, 99-79 and 116-108 to even in the series at 2. And then Dallas winning the last 2 games, 103-94 and 111-101 to even that series up at 2 games apiece. So that is the update for all the series. Golden State is 1 win away from winning the series. The rest of the series are all tied at 2 games apiece. Tonight's schedule for the NBA: Philly at Miami at 7:30 p.m. on TNT, and then Dallas at Phoenix 10 p.m. on TNT. That is the NBA Weekly Recap, and that is this week's episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of the podcast. If you are new here, subscribe down below to the channel. Leave a notification bell so you're notified when I go live or post a video. Or for audio, follow, share the stream, share the podcast episode, leave a review for the podcast. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.